Dozens of Russian and Ukrainian prisoners of war have been exchanged in a deal facilitated by the United Arab Emirates, including captives from Bakhmut and Mariupol.
France has announced the city of Marseille will receive the Olympic flame ahead of next year's Games, as more nations threaten to boycott if Russia competes.
Apple reports its first quarterly decline in sales in 4 years as the impact of COVID restrictions on Chinese factories makes its mark.
63. That's the number of Russian soldiers Moscow says have returned from Ukraine on Saturday following a prisoner swap. The troops included some special category detainees who were released after the United Arab Emirates helped facilitate the exchange. However, the Kremlin's defense ministry hasn't provided any details on these particular captives. Meanwhile, the head of Ukraine's presidential office, Andriy Yermak, took to Telegram on Saturday to say that Moscow released 116 Ukrainian troops. Some of these prisoners of war were captured in the eastern city of Bakhmut and from the devastated port city of Mariupol during Moscow's months-long siege surrounding the Azovstal steelworks. This comes amid fresh reports of civilian deaths in Ukraine. President Zelensky's officials say 3 people have been killed by Russian shelling and missile strikes over the past 24 hours. The controversy over the alleged spy balloon continues. The Pentagon says it has located a second Chinese-related balloon, this time over Latin America. This after Washington said it discovered an unusual object flying over the US on Friday. The Secretary of State then cancelled Sunday's high-stakes visit to Beijing.
China's decision to fly a surveillance balloon over the continental United States is both unacceptable and irresponsible. That's what this is about. It's a violation of our sovereignty. It's a violation of international law.
This was due to be the first high-profile meeting between the two countries since China's President Xi Jinping met US President Joe Biden on the Indonesian island of Bali last November. Beijing denies any claims of spying and maintains the balloon is simply a weather-monitoring airship that has blown off course. But analysts warn the matter will further strain diplomatic relations between the two superpowers.
Ukraine is still considering boycotting the Paris Olympics next year if the International Committee accepts Russian and Belarusian athletes under a neutral flag. Now other countries, including Estonia, Latvia, Lithuania and Poland, have threatened to join the boycott.
І ми не маємо права на компроміси у цій ситуації. Коли гинуть наші українці, коли гинуть наші жінки, діти, коли ми бачимо, як помлять, ще раз я повторюсь, наші міста, як 344 спортивних об'єкта вже зруйновано, 220 наших спортсменів вже загиблих. Ми не можемо на сьогоднішній день мати компроміси стосовно допуску російських і білоруських спортсменів.
The controversy has overshadowed the announcement that the Olympic flame will start its journey in Marseille in April. The Summer Games will be held from next year and the Paralympics from August.
Grim times for big tech. Apple has just reported a 5% drop in sales for the final months of 2022. The company's first quarterly decline in almost 4 years reflects the impact of COVID restrictions in Chinese factories. It coincides with disappointing results for the same period for Google. Parent company Alphabet's profit of $13.6 billion, or 12.4 billion euros, was below its earnings for the same period last year. There was better news for Amazon, with its revenues exceeding expectations. But the online retail platform has already announced thousands of job cuts and has given a cautious sales forecast for the current quarter.
Nearly a month since his supporters stormed Brazil's government buildings, former President Jair Bolsonaro re-emerged in Miami, speaking at a conservative conference at ex-US President Donald Trump's hotel. He has spent several weeks in a Florida suburb since Brazil's new leader Luiz Inácio Lula da Silva took office. At the summit, Bolsonaro expressed confusion over losing last October's election and did not directly address his supporters' uprising. He is now under investigation back home for allegedly inciting the attack.